What is going on, everybody? I'm excited. It's TNA. We're a little bit late, just a little bit, just a tad bit late on the TNA review for the 9th of September. Um, Took us a while to get to TNA this week, um, and it wasn't bad. It was okay. There were some matches I really liked, and there were some other matches, and I was like, I don't know about this. So let's jump right into it. We started out the show with a video package of GFW kind of taking over, and then kind of the Hardys EC3 feud that was going on. Any thoughts on those two things?
Uh, Not really.
All right, alrighty. So next we get the presentation of EC3's personal assistant, and if you don't know, it is Jeffrey Hardy, as EC3 calls him, which I think is kind of interesting. He talks about how the battle lines have been drawn, talking about the GFW TNA thing, but he couldn't give a crap. He says, talks to the fans, says, you shouldn't have bet against me. I want to bring out my spoils, because to the winner goes the spoils. He says, my personal assistant, Jeffrey Hardy. He says, cut the music, personal assistants walk to the ring in complete silence. Thank you, EC3. I finally figured out why Marcus Louis doesn't have any music. I figured it out just now. Why Marcus Louis doesn't have any music is a personal assistant. I didn't know it. So he says, ask him to get him some water. Um, he says, is this 73 degrees? He says, you know I said 72. So he's just kind of making a mockery of Jeff Hardy here. Makes him hold the the sign with EC3's face on it. And introduce him with a script, which I thought they actually did pretty good on the introduction. I was like, it's not bad. Um, and basically, EC3 says, well, since you had to go and break your leg and whatnot, um, we're gonna have Tyrus and EC3 go up against Matt Hardy and Rockstar Spud, or I think he just said Spud. So that will be the next match that was coming up. Any thoughts on personal assistant Jeffrey Hardy?
Uh, I don't know. I don't know if anyone else kind of noticed this, but and I kind of touched on it a little bit when we were talking about the Hardys' possible return to WWE in our video earlier this week. It just seemed to me like Jeff is just not into this. He just didn't seem into this at all last week. I know part of it, he's supposed to be like that because he doesn't want to be the personal assistant. But it felt like it was deeper than that. It kind of felt like he was just tired of you know the whole storyline and everything like that, or just being in TNA right now because he's kind of hasn't really been doing anything for a while. They haven't really done anything with him for a while. Um, so it's kind of, it just kind of, got me curious about it. Is he really just, is he just really playing this character well, or is he getting a little bit tired of, TNA, really not doing anything with him where he could, they could go back to WWE and, at least have a good run there. But I'm just kind of curious what they're going to do with this storyline because I don't feel like it's a storyline that they could keep going for too long. I just don't know what all they could do with it. Um, but I'm excited for it.
Alrighty, so next we get Matt Hardy and Rockstar Spud going up against EC3 and Tyrus. EC3 tags in Tyrus early because he's a champ. He can take a load off for a second. Matt pounds, but when EC3 does come back in, Matt just pounds on EC3. Russian leg sweep for two by Matt Hardy. The double suplex on EC3. So when EC3 did get in, he got pretty beat up. Spud was landing the blows as well. Spud wasn't having it. We calling him. You can't be talking down Spud. So Spud came in with the laying the shots in. Spud gets taken to the outside, giving EC3 control. Hardy doesn't want to hit Spud with the sign. Jeff Hardy doesn't because EC3 is like, hit him with the sign, hit him with the sign. Jeff Hardy just doesn't want to do it. Um, Jeff Hardy comes in with a side effect on EC3 for two. Double team move on Tyrus for two. Low blow on Matt on the outside. EC3 wants Hardy to hit Spud with the with a chair now, but we actually ended up getting the club by Tyrus on Spud to end up winning this match, which they're calling the ICU actually now. So, any thoughts on Matt Hardy and Rockstar Spud versus EC3 and Tyrus? I shall return in a second after I get my charger.
He never come ready. He never comes ready, ladies and gentlemen. He's never prepared for the show. And we're gonna talk about that while he's gone because anyway. Yeah, I'm gonna wait till he comes back. So we're just gonna talk about how he's never ready for the show. He's never prepared. He never brings his charger. He always has to go off camera to get a drink. He's just the reason we're always so late is because of him. He's I gotta do this, I gotta do that, and I'm like I'm ready. Like I'm ready Wednesdays to do these reviews, and he's just not ready. Gotta go to school, gotta go to work, blah blah blah. Uh, and it's ridiculous because I'm like, you know what? This is about the fans. This is about the fans of the Instant Classic Wrestling podcast. They need to see our show, and we don't need to be making them wait.
You most certainly are not ready on Wednesdays. You liar.
Anyway, back about this match. I thought it was a pretty good match. It was a little bit weird to me that Rockstar Spud was Matt's tag team partner because it feels like it's been a while since we had the Rockstar Spud EC3 storyline. It feels like it was a while ago, so it's kind of weird to just throw him right back in there. I mean, they're not doing anything with him, so why not? But and with him trying to get Jeff to hit Rockstar Spud with the sign and then with the chair. I mean, obviously Jeff's a face, so he's not going to do it. I just didn't like the way he sold it. The way he just kind of threw the chair down, it just was weird to me for some reason. But it was a good match. I just don't really know if they're going to keep Rockstar Spud in the storyline or if they just kind of randomly threw him in there for a tag team partner for Matt. But yeah.
Yeah. By the way, seems like you're prepared for these reviews, considering it is what Thursday, and you said you got spoiled for next week's NXT or next week's, which is actually this week's NXT for us. So, ha! All right, but let's continue. We go backstage with Drew Galloway and the Wolves. Basically, just talking about how they're not going to let them take over. And they're going to win the war. We got Dollhouse backstage. Talk about how Terrence Terrell she's back. She says she's tired of Velvet Sky. And she said she wants to take out one of the beautiful people, and they kind of ooh, beautiful, ooh, people, So that it's kind of interesting. And then the Dollhouse attacks Madison Rain, but Angelina Love and Velvet Sky come in to kind of help. I can't remember if that was the point where Angelina Love got her hand smashed or something. Her arm. She was selling the arm, so got her arm smashed. I'm not sure. I can't remember if it was two separate segments or if that was just one thing. But I'll look down in my notes and see if I wrote anything else. Any thoughts on those three things? The Dollhouse and Team TNA.
It was one segment, and I couldn't take it seriously. I just couldn't. Something about it. The cell was just the way the camera's like strategically looks away and then goes over. I don't know. Just I don't know. It was just weird to me. The whole setup of it was kind of weird. And it's always that same hallway. Why is it always that same hallway? Do they ever leave that hallway? Like, there's more places to arenas. Like, I don't know. But and as for the Wolves, we'll get to that match, but I didn't like the outcome of that match. But we'll get to that when we get to it.
Alrighty, so next we get a Jeff Jarrett promo. He talks about something sticking in his craw. Typical Southern thing to say, I guess. He calls out Bobby Roode for having his King of the Mountain championship. He says, and Bobby Roode, he wants him to give the title back. Roode says, I earned this title. It belongs to me, and it belongs to those in this impact zone. Jeff Jarrett says, you have one more chance or else. And then Karen talks about how they were being children because they were fighting over a title. And I was like, but that's what wrestling's all about, fighting over titles. I'm just saying, Karen. Just saying. I've never liked Karen Jarrett either. She's in that category with Amanda and Michael Tarver. Never really liked all three of those for some weird reason. But she does say to Bobby Roode that I think you'd be more concerned with securing your spot after GFW takes over and whatnot. So, any thoughts on the Jeff Jarrett, Karen Jarrett, Bobby Roode promo?
I I just felt like this was a huge, getting ready for a turn. Like there was bells and whistles, and they just should have had a sign. Bobby Roode's gonna turn like this. I was ready, and I was hoping it was gonna be sometime tonight, but we gonna get that at the pay-per-view. He gonna turn. Because I think he's one of the ones that has signed with GFW, I believe. Um, so, eh, and just the fact that he is a TNA original, it would make sense that he would kind of um turn and go with GFW. Trying to get like because if you really think about it, this is kind of original TNA versus today's TNA. It's not really GFW versus TNA. It's throwback TNA versus current TNA. If you really think about it, and a lot of the originals are going over to GFW. So I'm expecting a bunch of turns.
Alrighty. So next we got EC3. He's calling for Jeffrey. He says, when I tell you to hit someone, you better hit someone. And go and tells him to go sell his merch since he's a big seller to the creatures. He wants the creatures to have some EC3 merch. So, any thoughts on this? EC3 kind of telling him what to do.
I mean, I would rather Jeff Hardy merch. I don't want, EC3. It's just, I, you can try to have Jeff sell the stuff, but I mean, if it's not good quality stuff, it's not gonna sell. If it's a shirt with EC3 on it, it's not gonna sell. If it says like Jeff Hardy on it or like Rockstar Spud, it's gonna sell like hotcakes. But it's just,
Come on, man. It's obviously gonna sell. He's the champ, darn it. He's the champ. He's the champ. Oh, sorry. Got a little excited. Next, we got Jesse Goddard's Eli Drake and Kenny King versus Micah, Robbie E, and Tigre Uno. For some reason, I skipped that thing. For some reason, before the EC3 thing, we were backstage of Jesse Goddard's Kenny King and Eli Drake. And they talk about how he's trying to get all cushy, like Drew Galloway comes up, and they're talking about how Galloway's trying to get all cushy, and with Dixie Carter now, and everyone's kind of ganging up on Drew. Um, and then he brings in Micah, Tigre Uno, and Robbie E, which would set up the six-man tag match that I stated just a few seconds ago. I was just trying to figure out, when did Kenny King turn heel again? Because I think it was even last week. He was talking about how he didn't want to jump people from behind. How he was gonna be, this real man and whatnot. And And now this week, he joining forces with Eli Drake, and the typical, jump you from behind, type of people. I'm just saying, Kenny King. If you want to be a face, you with the wrong crowd, bruh. I'm just saying. Any thoughts on that backstage segment that ended up setting up the 6 man segment?
That is exactly my first thought when I saw him. I was like, is he a face or is he a heel? You can't switch week to week. Like, ah, um, but I mean, I guess it works because he is naturally a better heel. You want to like hate him, but you can't just switch character, like switch from face to heel week to week. It has to be a gradual change. Um, and just the fact that he returned and he was a face, and then the next week he's a heel, it's still it just doesn't look good for TNA. It doesn't look like they have good writing, and it doesn't look like they have good storytelling, which is not going to be good for them in the future. If they want to get better and they want to, build their brand. Um, but I mean, it turned out as for a good match anyway. So
Agreed. I'm gonna let you take this match. My first thought though was like, Micah's back. Where's he been? I was trying to figure out where Micah had been. Obviously he'd been with the primetime players, winning the tag team titles and such in WWE. So now that they took the titles away from him, he can come back to TNA and do it. I see. I get it. I get it.
it's not the same guy. I'm just letting you know it's not the same.
What? I thought I
No,
thought it was the same, but he came in when the primetime players was broken up. So I was thinking, and then he was disappeared, and they just happened to win the titles.
uh,
Coincidence?
yes, it was just a coincidence. I hate to break it to you. I hate to break it to you, bruh, but it's not the same guy.
So this isn't this isn't WCW tricking WWE and having the same guy on.
No, it's not Scott Hall. It's not Scott Hall. Um, no, but this was a good match. I actually, even though I was confused with Kenny King's, split personality, I did like the teaming of, the three of them, because they seem like to work well together. And they're a team that I could actually see, being a faction if they actually put them together. I could see them, doing something. Um, I just feel like they're still trying to push this, the rising breakup storyline while they're trying to have the, invasion storyline, which I'm not sure that they can do both, because TNA isn't really good at doing multiple storylines at one time. They don't do it well. Um, but this was a pretty good match. Hopefully they kind of keep this going a little bit. Keep these guys trying to get a good team for TNA to support TNA, and then have these other guys who aren't gonna choose sides, because I feel like a lot of them are gonna turn on TNA as well. I could see like Eli Drake doing that. I could see Kenny King doing that. Um, but I'm excited for it.
Alrighty. This match was pretty good. I liked it. I love the butterfly suplex that Micah did. I was like, we don't see that a lot, so I was excited to see it. I just thought this was a good match. We got a chance to see some guys we haven't seen in a while. I feel like we haven't seen Eli Drake in a while, which I think we should have seen him. Especially with the Drew Galloway stuff. A lot of continuity type stuff that like issues that we've had with TNA with some of the storylines. I would have liked to seen Eli Drake a little more. Yeah, they were kind of mixing a lot of old stuff in with this, trying to this GFW TNA stuff, because you had the Robbie E Jesse Goddard's thing too. from before, and I can't remember, and I'm sure they did. I'm trying to figure out if the BDC ever beat down Tigre Uno when he was, maybe going for the X Division title too. So I think they just mixed everything, every storyline ever, just in this one match. They tried their best at least, but yeah, I thought it was a pretty good match nonetheless. Where Robbie E ends up beating Jesse with the boom drop. Next, we get Gail Kim versus Terrence. Not Terrence. Oh, goodness. Gail Kim versus Brooke for the Knockouts Championship. This match was pretty technical to start. Shoulder block takes Gail Kim to the outside. Kim does take advantage on the outside. Brooke rolls through for the for two. We have the face buster by Brooke for two. I liked a lot. The head scissors arm lock on Brooke, which I thought was pretty cool too. By Gail Kim. Nice submission by Brooke. I didn't know what to call it, so I just called it a submission. Uh, Kim reverses the pin. Reverses into a pin for two. Lady Tapa does come out after the double cross body that grounds both competitors. She grabs a knockouts title that causes a distraction. Brooke comes out and kind of is distracted. She hits the face buster and pins Gail Kim, but Top provides a distraction again. Top hits, obviously Brooke comes out to confront her about having her title and whatnot. And Top hits Brooks with the title from behind. Kim attacks the opposing. Wait a minute. Oh, okay, because he didn't, for some reason, didn't rule it. Just okay. Tapa hits Brooke with the title, which causes disqualification, and then Kim gets taken out as well. Kong comes out. At first, I was really confused when Awesome Kong came out because I wasn't expecting Awesome Kong to come out. So I thought they just like somebody hit the wrong button with the music and didn't play Lady Tapa's music. So I was like, that's the wrong music, guys. And then Awesome Kong came out, and then we got the trading strikes type of thing. We got the stalemate type thing, and then we got the body slams, and then Tapa gets taken to the outside. So LOL, LOL, TNA wins. I guess you could say. Any thoughts on the Knockouts title match?
Um, I thought it was a pretty good match. The only thing I was thinking about this during this match, and I don't mean this in a bad way against Gail Kim, but she kind of seems like she's the TNA's female version of John Cena in the fact that it seems like she comes back out of nowhere and automatically gets title shot after title shot after title shot, and there's really no like number one contenders matches. There's nothing like that, and they don't really give the newer knockouts that many chances at the title. And it's nothing it's not horrible like John Cena where we get her shoved down our throats, but I just kind of made thought of that comparison because he gets all these title shots for nothing, and it seems like she gets a lot of title shots, and it's like there's not really any number one contender matches, which is weird. There used to always be number one contender matches or tournaments to to get a number one contender. I just thought that was weird because there's a lot of younger talent, female talent too, that I think should get title shots. But anyway, it was a good match. Some of it seemed a little bit sloppy. More so from Brooke a little bit this week. Which nothing too bad. I like when Lady Tapa came out, kind of reminding us that, GFW is invading, and hopefully we'll get maybe Gail Kim involved in this storyline, because for a while there it was just, the guys from GFW and Lady Tapa versus, all these guys from, there wasn't any, females from TNA, and we have a whole knockouts division. So why aren't they fighting for TNA? So I like that they had her come out. Maybe they'll incorporate some more of these knockouts into the storyline. It seems like we're going to get more people in the storyline in general. Hopefully, not just the same 10 people. But good match.
Do you think this is ending next week though? They're having a lethal lockdown to like for the majority ownership of the company, and that makes it feel like it's gonna end next week. I don't know if you feel that way.
Um, I don't think so because I feel like I, I think the way it'll go is GFW will win, and Jarrett will, in the storyline, win, the majority share of the company, and keep control of it. But that'll be, just a way to kind of keep, GFW in the storylines, kind of help them a little bit, because Jeff Jarrett still has, partial ownership of TNA. So, I mean, he still has, can be on the shows and stuff. So why not, if it helps your new company, why not do it? So I don't think it'll necessarily be the end, but it'll just build on it more. I hope anyway.
Alrighty, so next we go backstage with Team GFW, and they're excited. And Jeff Jarrett says he has something special for the team, maybe a little gift, maybe. I play a little tune or something. Anyway, then we go backstage with Galloway and Jeff Hardy. They're kind of talking, and Jeff Hardy's obviously not happy with the EC3 thing, so he's talking out EC3. EC3 just comes out of the curtain, just creeping. He talks about how they have plans, going to dinner or something like that. And he talks to Galloway. He says, good luck losing Miles' company. So interesting, but it still doesn't make sense that EC3 doesn't care. It makes sense to the fact that he doesn't care about Dixie to a certain degree because Dixie has kind of, I guess you could say, turned her back on him. But I'm not sure about him not caring about losing the company to which he holds the biggest title in the company and whatnot. Anyway, any thoughts on those two things?
Yeah, I mean, I feel like that could itself, bring an interesting kind of storyline there because, you know, if in the storyline, GFW wins and, Jeff Jarrett takes over, majority control, then, EC3 won't be rich anymore. And that would bring up an interesting kind of storyline there. You know what I mean? Um, with his character. But and why are you telling me you can go? My battery just came up low, but it's plugged in. What the hell are you doing?
Someone comes to the podcast not prepared, like he said he was. Anyway, next we got the tag team title rematch. We got the Wolves versus Trevor Lee and Brian Myers. Have you put it on your computer yet? Because I want to give you this match because I thought you might like it.
I'm good. I'm good.
All right. So do you want this match? So you good meaning you don't want this match, or are you good
Uh,
meaning you
you can take this match. I'm good in both. You could take this match, and I'm good with the computer. It's not gonna crash.
All right. So Lee and Myers attack on the ramp. It was weird because the commentator was talking about how the Wolves were attacking early, but they were in control. But I felt like Lee and Myers were the ones that actually initiated the attack. Wolves hit their suicide dives. Um, he, Eddie Edwards hit his head on the apron when he tried to fall out of the ring. We get the super kick suplex combo on Trevor Lee for two by the Wolves. Flipping cross body by Trevor Lee, which I thought was really cool looking. How he kind of reversed it into a flipping cross body. I thought that was pretty cool. Um, Lee and Myers slow the pace down and take control. Davey comes in and takes out Trevor Lee and Brian Myers. Superplex on Trevor Lee for two. Creeping Death is missed by Davey Rich. Davey Richards, but Eddie Edwards does come in. We get the Enzuigiri German suplex combo by the Wolves for two. Knee, the running knee facebuster German suplex combo by Liam Myers, what I thought was really cool. Myers ends up getting caught with the knee by Trevor Lee, and who gets rolled up for two. Lifting round kick, power bomb backstabber for two as Sanjay Dutt pulls the ref out of the ring. I'm glad Dutt got involved there because I felt like that was going to be the end of it, which I thought it was pretty cool that Dutt got involved. Um, Earl Hebner comes out and one hit a quitter knocks out Sanjay Dutt. Um, and then we get the round kick tombstone combo for what ended up being the win. So good match. I liked it. I like Brian Myers and Trevor Lee, like their tag team moves. Obviously, we see the Wolves all the time, so it's nice to see another tag team come in and still be, pretty good when it comes to tag team moves. I like that. They bring some innovative moves. Trevor Lee hits those Tommaso Ciampa uh, running knees. But any thoughts on the tag team title match? I know you weren't too happy with the outcome.
I wasn't. I was not. Good match. I feel like slowly we're seeing more and more of what these guys can do, being Trevor Lee and Brian Myers. We're seeing those more kind of innovative moves that you kind of see more in the indies. You don't really see on the big stage as much. But yeah, I was confused and upset that the Wolves won and retained, got their titles back, because I was like, they just won the titles like last week. Why are it just, especially for the storyline, GFW is trying to, gain power. So why would you then have them lose the TNA titles? That just takes away. I don't know. It just doesn't make sense to me. I'm waiting to see them lose more matches, or maybe win another title. Like maybe they'll win the world heavyweight title somehow. Just
They,
saying.
they won't. They won't because the world heavyweight champion is undefeated, undefeatable, undefiant. A lot of unwords that I can't remember right now that he says about himself. Unbreakable, and he's
No,
not Michael
no,
Logan.
that's Michael Elgin. He is he is not unbreakable, Michael Elgin. Um, no, but just two tag team matches in 2 weeks that have upset me. One I haven't even technically watched yet, but Instagram ruined it for me, and now I know who is not in the Dusty Rhodes Tag Team Classic anymore. So that's cool. Take a great tag team and put freaking. Anyway, we'll get to that in the NXT review. I'll have a rant there for a little bit, but yeah, it's just I don't think that was a good idea for them, for the storyline, to have them lose the titles. It doesn't. It takes a little bit away from GFW. Um, they had that kind of one-upsmanship. We have your titles. What are you gonna do? Um, I mean, PJ Black is the King of the Mountain champion, but that isn't. I don't feel like that's.
PJ Black isn't even the King of the Mountain champion. That's why I felt like this was probably gonna end next week because Rude is the King of the Mountain champion.
Oh yeah, no, but I was saying, like, even with him losing the King of the Mountain title, that's not even really as as of a big hit, just because that's kind of, as they said, an interpromotional title. That's not a TNA title. That's not a GFW title. It's an
It's got the
interpromotional title.
TNA logo on it.
I mean, yes, it does, because it's the television title. And
It's the King of the
other
Mountain title, is
titles.
what they told me. They told me it was the King of the Mountain title.
It's the television title. It
Who am
really
I
is.
supposed to believe?
You're supposed to believe me because I know what the Anyway, um, yeah, I don't know. I don't think it's gonna end next week, but we'll see. Maybe we'll have a big turn, and they'll win the titles back, and
I
GFW will reign supreme.
I thought that would have been cool too if like they would have put all the like I guess well we got the I think PJ Black would end up oh my god. Sorry, I was watching the football game and I just saw the worst throw I've ever seen in my life. But but
I saw that too.
but I was thinking that if PJ Black was in it and if Rude somehow got in it, it would be cool because they could put all of those titles on the line that's involved in it anyway, and the share of the company, the majority share of the company too. So then all the power would shift instead of like just the the control, creative control power. I thought that would kind of have been cool if they would have did that. Maybe they will.
But before we move on, Justin, if you're watching this, what the hell was that? You're Kansas City. What was that? Freaking Alex Smith. Anyway,
Alrighty. Next we got the Sarge, and he's backstage, back. He's on crutches, but it's the Sarge nonetheless. He says he's not gonna stop. He says, "You may have won the battle, but not the war." Obviously, talking to the lunatic fringe. No, no, it's not a thing. The the world class maniac, um, uh, Eric Young. Then we get a Sarge Chris Melendez promo. Before I get into this, any thoughts on him backstage, chilling with the crutches, talking to EY like he about to beat that butt though?
what else are they going to do with this storyline? I don't understand. It's it's a fight over a leg. Really? Come on now.
I
Don't.
mean, I mean, he obviously got to win it back. I feel like,
I mean,
right,
yeah, but
right.
still.
It's gonna be.
I'm pretty sure he could get a new one. Like, come on.
Those things are expensive. It's gonna turn into the hardcore title. That's what's gonna happen. He's gonna catch him in the bar, hit him over the head with the glass, and then he's gonna pin him and win his leg back. That's what's gonna happen. I know it. I know. TNA hire me. I know what I'm talking about. Next we get a Sarge promo. Basically he just talks about how he's not gonna stop for anything, and EY comes out. He calls out EY. EY comes out. He talks about look at your American hero. If this is what an American hero looks like, I don't want to be one. All of your heroes fall at my feet. You learn like Kurt Angle that I'm crazy. It's because of me. It's because of my power driver that you're standing there with one leg because of me. Mundez says, yeah, I am, but I'm standing here waiting, waiting for another match with you. And basically, this just ends up being it's going to end up being a match for I don't know if it's for the leg because they didn't really clarify that. Like Eli was like, yeah, it'll be for the leg, and then when he pushed him down as he tried to scoot towards him to grab the leg, he was like, "You're never getting this leg back. I'll never give you. So I was kind of like, wait, is it the next match for the leg or what's going on? I don't understand. Melendez, I'm telling you, all you gotta do, catch him in the bar, hit him with a glass, and then pin him. Any
I
thoughts?
mean, okay. Okay. Um, I feel like it's gonna be for the leg. I mean, why else would he have a match if it's not for the leg? What? Okay, you won, but you don't get your leg back. What would be the point of that? I don't understand. Um, but eh, I don't know. I'm really not looking forward to this match at all. Um, and the only other criticism I have is just I feel like Sarge needs to work more on his mic skills, which isn't really a big thing right now because he is still pretty new. He's hasn't been in the business for that long, so he just needs to work on that a little bit. Which the Dudleys should have taught him better, before they left for WWE, but they didn't. It's cool. It's cool, Devon. It's cool, Bubba. You're awesome on the mic, and you didn't teach him that, so that's cool. Whatever.
I mean, all he really needs is do you know who I am? That's all he needs. He can just say that. I'll be happy. Because I miss that. I miss that. I love it when he says it in WWE and he's like, "Do you know who we are?" I'm like, "Yeah,
But
close enough."
but you know what's better? Do you know what's better?
John
Devon,
Cena.
get the table.
Oh, I thought this was a John Cena meme.
No, no, I've seen way too many of those. I need
Seen
to
so many of those. I'm like, everything turns into a John Cena meme.
I, I need to not ever see those again. That'd be great.
All right, so now we're backstage with Team TNA. All five of them just chilling. Uh, they say, Drew, the main talker here, talk about I'm gonna take the man advantage, and I'm going to get revenge on the man that jumped me, Chris Mordetsky. And then we get Mahabali Shara doing the dance and whatnot. He's talking to Josh Matthews. A lot of stuff I like when he talks, so I write down a lot of what he says. He says, "I grew up nothing. I don't laugh. I gotta be serious in this promo. I dream to become a wrestler. I am part of TNA. That that is world." That's what he said. He says, "Now it's my turn to give him back 100%." Talking about Kurt Angle, he says, Josh Matthews wants to know, the transition. How was it? How was it, Mahabali? How was it? That's exactly how Josh asked it. And he says, it wasn't easy. Bannock helped me out. He talks about the name Koya. He says, I did not like that name. I'm not Koya. I am not part of the I am not part of Revolution. Storm, I promise you, I beat you. He talks in languages that I don't understand. They had subtitles, but I didn't write them down. And then he says, I show him I am man, I am Shara. When he did that, he looked like, for some reason, when he did the dance, but he turned to one side. He looked like a businessman to me for some reason. I have no idea why, but I just got this businessman vibe from Mahabali Shara. I'm loving Mahabali Shara because every time I have to write down a promo for him, I just cite it word for word. Only person I can do it with, so it's fine. Any thoughts on Team TNA and Mahabali Shara?
I like to dance. I like to fun. That was that was the best one ever. Anyway, nothing really about the TNA team TNA. Trying to get the man advantage. I just still feel like the leader or the main focus on Team GFW should be Sanjay Dutt, just because it would make more sense to me, at least. Um, just with him being one of the originals. Um, and I think it would have been a better match in a way. Just because the Mordetsky lock, I still can't. It's not. It's the master lock. And as for the Mahabali Shira, I was texting DJ while this was playing, and I was just losing it. I can't. I I'm not being racist or anything. It's just hilarious. It's just it's funny though, because normally with wrestlers who don't speak English or don't speak English well, they don't usually put them on the mic, and it's kind of funny that they are actually doing a lot of promos with him and actually having him talk a lot. um I don't know if necessarily that's a good thing, just because it is kind
It
of
is.
making it not seem as serious,
It is.
you know. And it's not. It's not. I like. It shouldn't be. We shouldn't. he should be able to be taken seriously as a wrestler, but you kind of it's hard to when I like to dance, I like to fun.
It is serious, man. He liked to dance. He liked to fun. He liked to fight. Ah! I think he did that during one of his promos too. That big scream. Alrighty. So next we get Mahabali Shah versus. No, I'm just kidding. We get the main event of the evening. We got Drew Galloway versus Chris Modetsky, and I gotta tell you, I'm not even gonna go big into this match. Just a couple of things. I like how the big spine buster on Galloway by Modetsky, and I love the Future Shock. It just looks so good. Like the snap on it and all of that looks really good. Um, especially depending on who's selling it, it can look it looks really good. I like the Future Shock. This match was a good match though. I felt like the Lumberjacks didn't really. They kind of did the Lumberjack actual job and not like the let me beat you down type of a thing until around about the end when GFW tries to get involved and then the Wolves take them out. Jeff Jarrett comes down with the guitar. Obviously that was his gift or his special thing that he was bringing for tonight. And then EY comes out and grabs the guitar. Um, and he's like, kind of, I'm not, no, you can't do this and whatnot. I'm like, when did EY become like actually rational? And I was like, so he's gonna hit Drew, right? So EY turns around and he hits Drew, and Modesky pins him to win the match. I don't know. I felt like the sell and everything was good by EY. It was completely fine. Like it would have been better if they wouldn't have had him on the show just 3 seconds ago, right? Like if they wouldn't have had him on the show acting all heelish and spitting in the crowd and shooting skyrockets and having people's legs over his shoulders, I feel like it would have been a little more believable. Um, just it was just because we just saw him, like literally we just saw him before. I like to dance, I like the fun. We just saw him. Come on. We just saw it, man. That was my only thing. I thought it was good. I thought it looked really good, but I felt like it was still predictable because we just saw the man. But now GFW has the man advantage, and I've historically I feel like the people who have the man advantage in Lethal Lockdown end up losing. So that was kind of where I was like, maybe TNA will win this next week. But any thoughts on the main event of the evening? EY, liking to dance and fun and beat people up.
It's a pretty good match. Um, you know, I, I feel like either way, when EY came out, it was predictable. I feel like even if he wasn't on the show earlier, I still feel like it would have been predictable. Just because they do that spot a lot, where you think he's gonna hit one person, and turn around and hits the opposite.
I mean, why didn't he just hit them both? I mean, it's a guitar. It's kind of a little bit more difficult, but
Yeah, you can't do that.
you can do it with a guitar. But his weapon of choice is the chair, so he could have came out there, hit them both. No one knows what EY's gonna do. That would have been. I think that would have been better.
I mean, I guess. But I agree with you on the Future Shock. It looks amazing. His opponents sell it well. He sells it well. I have no idea why WWE didn't keep him just for that fact. Like bringing simple moves back. We've had videos on this before where, if you build these, simple moves and sell them right, simple moves like a DDT could become awesome again. Simple moves like a suplex, it could become, these amazing moves again. And guys like him could bring that back. It's and that's what it is. It's a simple DDT, but he sells it so well that it gets huge pops and it looks so effective. Um, I don't know, but I mean, I I did think about what you said. When you said historically the team with the man advantage usually loses. But I think GFW is going to turn that around. They're obviously, or maybe TNA is going to dip into the little heel pool and take out one of the members of GFW. I don't know. Maybe. Mm, I don't know. We'll see. But I, I'm excited anyway. I feel like it's going to be a good show anyway. So.
Alrighty, guys. So that is your TNA Impact review for 9/9/2015. Sorry for getting out so late. Went to the beach last weekend. Just wasn't every time I sat down, they were like, I was like, all right, I'm gonna sit down and watch TNA. Hey, you want? Let's go out to eat now. What? Wait, I'm trying to watch TNA. Yeah, so it didn't happen for me last week, but we're gonna try to get everything done in a timely manner this week, especially considering Night of Champions is coming up Sunday, which means another busy week for us. So um, we really appreciate you coming by, and if you like to dance, if you like to fun, scroll down ever so slightly and hit that subscribe button because we like to dance, we like to fun. Okay, we do, both of us. Once again, this is the Instant Classic Wrestling Podcast, the only podcast that is always an instant classic. Thank you for tuning in. Love you guys. Peace.